What's going on, guys, and welcome back to another video. So I want to answer one question, and that is this the end? That was the question that I got from one person here in the community just the other day, and I want to address that because I think that it's extremely important. So in this economic update for 2022, I want to address why this is not the end. Okay, I want to address this because I know a lot of people are saying you keep on talking about food shortages, worker shortages, the lockdown in China, right? The pandemic, how it's persisting. Cases are going back up. We got to worry about monkeypox. We got diesel prices, gas prices. We got all these different issues. But is this the end? Well, let me just answer this question. Now, back in 2008, diesel prices topped out nationally just under $5 a gallon. I believe it was like $4.75, somewhere around there. Now diesel prices are $5.76, so over $1 up. This is the most expensive diesel prices have ever been, and the expectation is they're going to continue to go up. Now, do they exceed $6? My guess is eventually yes, they will. But when and for how long, that we don't know. Now, here's the thing. Although diesel prices are going to put the U.S. economy in a very tough spot, they're not going to be the end of the world. And I want to address that because I think that's where many people, and I know a lot of people here on YouTube and on social media in general, have been saying, you know, if you're not doing this now, you are absolutely screwed because it will be the end of you. And no, it won't. Okay. Now I've been doing a lot of talking about being prepared, prepping and having supplies in your home, bracing for stores to be overrun with people trying to get things to eat. Okay, and that's not a lie. That I am firmly, and many experts, and again, I'm not an expert, but many experts are saying that they believe this is exactly what's going to happen. If you are not prepared, you're going to be rushing to the store just like millions and millions of Americans were doing back in March of 2020. They're rushing to the store, buying anything and everything that they could just because we didn't know. But at the same time, even though I expect we're going to see some of that eventually, at the same time, I do understand that there's still going to be food. There's still going to be supplies in the store. Daily essentials are still going to be produced. And we're not going to see stores go completely empty. Right? We're not going to experience famine here in the United States. Now, the downside, though, is that when supplies are limited, and this is why I'm telling you to prep now, that when supplies are limited, that's when prices are going to surge. We're already seeing prices go up, right? This isn't something new. This shouldn't be, breaking news. Prices are going up. We've been experiencing this for the past 2 years. But the reason why I continue to tell you guys about these issues that we are facing as a country is because these issues are going to impact your wallet. They're going to impact us. And guess what happens when we are impacted from a financial point of view? Let's say we don't have a lot of money, right? And we can't pay our utilities. Utilities get shut off. So we got to pay them back. And then we pay them and then we can't pay rent. And then once you can't pay your rent, I'll tell you right now, it becomes a struggle. You will most likely never be caught up on rent if you miss just 2 payments. If you miss 2 payments, I think the odds are like 80% of people would never be able to catch up on their rent if they miss 2 payments. You fall behind twice, you will never be able to get caught up. That's the issue. And guess what happens then? You get evicted. You're kicked out of your home. You're homeless. You're now homeless. You don't have a place for all your stuff. Guess what? It gets thrown in the garbage. Someone takes it. Okay? You can't pay for a storage unit because you don't have money. Right? These are all issues. These issues just keep on combining and making things worse. Now, when your wallet's impacted, okay, and this is happening right now, and it's happening at a time when we don't have ample savings. The pandemic wreaked havoc on lower and middle income households. We know this. Right? We've seen so many financial reports saying this exact same thing. And according to these financial reports, the people that hold the most money right now are the upper middle class and the wealthy. Not lower income households, not even the lower middle income households. those aren't the ones that hold the money. It's the upper middle class. It's pretty much the top percentage of people. Those are the ones that have the money, nobody else. Now, I wish I could say that the Biden administration is going to step in and help those in need, but we all know that's not going to happen, right? The House is going to pass these bills. The Senate's going to sit on it because they're split 50-50. There's nothing they can do, which means getting anything passed will be very difficult. And getting additional stimulus or relief in any way is almost going to be impossible at this point from a federal standpoint. Will states provide a stimulus check or some type of tax relief, a tax credit? Potentially. But it's not going to be all 50 states, I can guarantee you that. We know that. But not only are consumers not getting relief, farmers aren't seeing any assistance either. Yeah, President Biden, they did some stuff to provide better loans to farmers, but do farmers really want to go out and get a loan? Probably not. If anything, farmers are having an even tougher time due to the fact that fertilizer has gone up. We've seen wages increase beyond what farmers and the owners can really pay, right? We know farm equipment is still sitting idle as some mechanics are waiting for parts. And then you factor in fuel, right? This is the reason why farmers are struggling. And as farmers struggle, we get less food. As we get less food, prices of the food that is there goes up. Guess who struggles? The American people. You guessed it. Yeah, everything's against us. Now, the one thing that I want to talk about right now is the new U.S. consumer sentiment. It actually came out the other day. And this, the economic, just to give you an idea, what the consumer sentiment is. This is an economic indicator, really showing how optimistic consumers are about kind of their finances and the economy in general. That's really what the consumer sentiment is. Now, in May, the U.S. consumer sentiment was 58.4. Okay, I want to show you this chart. In May, it was 58.4. You can see it right over here. Okay, you see it right over here. Now, the expectation was it was going to drop to 58.1. Again, this is fairly low. But now we're seeing it's actually 50.2. It's a record low. Okay, for the month, it's going to be 50.2. If you go back to, let's say, 2008, which is here, okay, it wasn't even at 50.2. It was higher than that. You'd have to go all the way back to the early 80s. And even then, it wasn't at 50.2. This is what's very scary about what's going on right now, is the consumer sentiment has fallen to the lowest it has been. Look at that. Has not been here on this line. We are very close to breaking underneath that. That will be scary. I guarantee you people will suffer if we are going to struggle. Okay? And some are expecting we could potentially be in a recession right now. And if we are, well, many people are still spending like we're not. And that could be a very difficult situation. Now, according to the survey's director, she said, and I quote, "Throughout the survey, consumers signal strong concerns that inflation will continue to erode their incomes and the factors they cited are unlikely to abate soon." Now, what does this mean? Well, inflation is going to continue to eat away at their income. And what are the factors that are doing that? Well, gas prices. We know that. Food prices. And food prices are, part of it is gas prices, wages, right? Ingredients for the recipes that go into certain food. All these things matter. Okay? All these things matter. Wages keep going up. Well, that just means the product keeps getting more and more expensive. Right? Well, then she went on and added, while consumer spending has remained robust so far, the broad deterioration of sentiment may lead them to cut back on spending and thereby slow down economic growth. So what they're saying is, if people are really worried about their finances and worried about our economy, they're going to cut back, or they need to cut back on spending. And if we cut back on spending, that will slow down economic growth. That's exactly what the Federal Reserve wants. But it requires the American people to do that, which also means that they have to suffer in the short term. So short-term suffering will lead to a much better economy later on. But again, Nobody wants to sign up to suffer, and that's part of the issue. But here's what we are expecting. What we are expecting is inflation to continue to go a little bit higher than wage growth. This means Americans will have to dip in their savings or into credit cards and use credit in order to pretty much sustain any losses that they have. And this is what I've been saying for quite some time, is be prepared. Okay, be prepared, buy now, because this is going to save you in the long run. I haven't been saying that stores are going to be completely empty. You will not be able to get a single thing. I've been saying this for the past year almost, is that stores are going to be, less full. They're not going to be, the shelves are not going to be completely filled. They're going to be somewhat empty, and you are going to have to not pick and choose what you want. You're going to have to pretty much buy whatever's there. If it's a loaf of bread for $6, that's what you're going to have to buy, because they don't have the bread for 99 cents, right? You go buy canned goods, and let's say it's only the premium brands, right? And you got to pay an extra 50 cents a can. Well, you're going to have to do that because, there's nothing else. You go buy certain meats, and maybe the less expensive meat is not there because everyone else bought it. But guess what? They still have meat, but maybe you have to pay, $15 a pound for that meat. I know that's excessive, but you get the idea, right? That's where we're facing. That's the world that we live in. So, just to answer that question, is this the end? No, I don't think it's the end. But could this be detrimental to your bank account? Yes. Could this hurt you? And could this be the end if you don't actually go and buy the things you need, even though you have to pay double, even triple what you used to pay? Yeah, that could be the end. And this is why I wanted to just bring this up, is because I know a lot of people are saying, it's not the end, don't worry about it, you're going to be just fine, there's going to be a lot of food out there. And yes, there is, but can you afford it? That's the difference, right? That's the main difference. So, just wanted to leave you with that. Again, I just want to thank you guys for watching. Have a wonderful rest of your Saturday. Consider subscribing so you never miss an update, and I'll see you guys on the next one.